them out. Every day appear arms out. Appear money them a teeth. And them a sell out the beach. Can't for me again. You can't for me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy candle, we can't buy time. You can't for me again. Can't for me again. You can't for me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch a line and a resort to crime. You can't for me again. Come me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The hundred the promises done and them not deliver. Cut up the youth and rough and it's down in the whatever. Them a bull money and they lie them tell. Corruption spell and they pocket them spell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell go mash up people start and thief when them spell. What they treat the market man. What them a treat the cat man. What they treat the peanut man. What them a treat the dirt man. What them a treat the son man. What them a treat policeman. How them a treat soldier man. Stibbidim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep. And some informer friend we lovely. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV, check it.
Morning. It's Monday, the 15th of July. Holiday. Morning and welcome. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Good morning to everyone and welcome. I hope you all had a restful weekend, and I'm begging you all, please like and share the live. Please, this morning, I'm going to speak to all of you. Like and share the live. Please, I'm asking you to support the program by liking and sharing the live. And don't make me not forget rather than carriages over here this morning. Just let's get on because we have a few things to discuss. And we're asking the Prime Minister for his immediate resignation. Someone got upset with me this morning because I'm going to openly campaign this morning for fly green or currency party in the bid that Andrew Holness should step in immediately in the. I'm going to be quiet and pop this morning, but I ask you all to stay if you want to understand where we're going with it this morning. To my community party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, and subscribers, good morning and welcome. Righty. Before I do my roll call this morning, I'm going to ask you for further support. Our North American correspondent and moderator Debbie Jervis has launched her TV channel, Debbie Jervis TV. What I'm asking you this morning, the link is the chat of your YouTube chat. If you just hit that link while I speak, it takes you straight to Debbie Jervis's page. If you subscribe and come back over and register that you have subscribed. We do not have enough women in this fight against injustice and corruption at the moment. If you look back at our history, some of our most glorious rebellion and stand-up were led by women. Just think about Queen Asante, Nanny of the Maroons, Rosa Parks, to name but a few. When women stand up, and when the younger generation stand up, everybody else falls in line. Kenya, at the moment, is a perfect example that when the younger generation or women stand up, everybody else falls in line. So we must encourage more women on this road of the fight against injustice. We do not have enough women in this social media space doing this type of work. So what I'm asking you all this morning is to subscribe to Debbie Jarvis TV and make sure you give her that support, because I know that a lot of the subscribers here are female, and Debbie Jarvis will be dealing with a lot of the issue that plague or mothers and sisters in Jamaica and globally. So move over, subscribe, and give your support in order for her channel to grow. She will be starting to put her content out there. So make sure you hit the link in the top of the chat and subscribe to Debbie Jarvis TV. Give your support, people. We all have to grow together. Give your support. Natalia Freeman, Elaine Turner, Debbie Jarvis, Donette Harriet, Shade Urban Iris, Create a Universe, Sonia Foster, Michelle Lewis Wilson, God's Gift, Beat and Teach, here, Gloria Morris, Sheena Kelly, Rose, Jason King, Yvonne Riley, Donette, Clean Ali, Annie Jones, Laurie Beckford, Kamara Johnson, Abinessa Cody, Sunshine, how are you? I believe Sunshine may be listening but not active in the comment this morning, but Sunshine is always here. Elder Fletcher, Jason Kane, Marcia Stewart Dunford, Ike Miller, Esther Dwyer, Lily Foster, the Easy Jerk World, Matthew Lewis, Marcia Thomas, Andrea, Pamela Cole, Blue Waves, Dean Campbell, how are you? Come on, people, make sure you subscribe to Debbie Jarvis TV, bros. Who else is here? Annie Jones. Patricia Matthews. Veteran. Wagwan. Brenda. Agency Driver 5. JC. Morning, all hold on. Bernard Adams. Morning, hold on, Sharon Bernard, how are you? Morning. Make sure to subscribe to Debbie Jarvis TV. Christine Gilbert, good morning. We have a few things to rumble through this morning, but the center point of this morning is we're calling for the resignation of the Prime Minister. And we're asking for Jamaicans at home and in the diaspora to call for the immediate resignation of the Prime Minister in the light of Beryl and the lack of management in veteran. Why are you troubling me? And the lack of management of how all of this is going. The Prime Minister must resign so the Jamaica Labour Party can have someone with the management capability to lead the country forward while they're still at the helm. That is the purpose of our show this morning. But we are going to ramble through other things. During our, what was it, Saturday night broadcast when the shooting with President Trump, I personally thought it was staged. I still don't know where I am on it, but given that what mainstream media is reporting, someone has died, someone has injured, the president has been shot as it is reported. So I retract that then and reserve my view, because regardless of one's view and opinion, I don't think any violence should have come to President Trump regardless of his views. President Trump or anyone, no violence should have to come to them because of their views. Manica Hawthorne. But we will watch the development. But I hope in all this, because there's a they word that is spoken in the American atmosphere at the moment, regardless, because the argument is the young man is a registered Republican, but last donated to Democrats, and there is a they word coming from the Trump campaign, they who call him Hitler, they who think he's the worst for America, they wanted him killed. So that they word is a broad scope in the way the Trump campaign is speaking at the moment. I hope the Trump campaign can hold their horses and do not retaliate the right-wing Christian Republican, the madlap them, the Ku Klux Klan and the whole of them Trump like them. Because this could be the spark of a civil war. If the Trump mad team would see this as a Dems assassination on the president, it could all go up. So I hope the Trump team can hold their horses and let the FBI and the Pennsylvania law enforcement do them work. Raymond G., how are you? I agree. Home of the Rosemary Sapphiles. How are you? But Dana Morris Dixon, we have questions. You are the person, Nen Miles, who must come and speak to us, Esther Dwyer. You are the government mouthpiece, Miss Dana Morris Dixon. You are the one who echo. Good morning. We've break the broadcast to bring you breaking news. Jamaica has been the first country to invent AI wheelchair. A batch of AI wheelchairs have just landed in the country. We have made history in Jamaica. The first batch of AI wheelchair has landed in the country. Good morning, Dr. Death. Dr. Death, good morning. Marcia S. Jacqueline Brooks. Can anybody tell me if these wheelchairs are still operational in Jamaica's healthcare? My speaking not sound good. Let me look at the audio, where my audio is connected. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I hope my audio is better now. I have switched my audio. Let me know if my audio is better now. I have switched
my audio. The StreamYard thing of late, every time I switch off my computer, it goes back in its galangin and we have to refix over everything. Please let me know if this wheelchair, much better, thank you. Let me know if this wheelchair is still operational in Jamaica. Breaking news, breaking news. We've broken the transmission to bring you breaking news. The first batch of AI wheelchair has entered Jamaica this week. Jamaica has been the first country and the first health service to invent and use AI wheelchair. We have made history. Can anyone tell me if these AI wheelchairs, because what I was told when it came out a couple years ago, that there are quite a few of these across the country. Is Dr. Tufton able to tell us if these wheelchairs are still operational, Dwayne Hutchins, Jason, across the healthcare? Is these wheelchairs still operational, Keith Salmon, across our healthcare? We want to know, Cousin Marina Wagwan, Dr. Tufton, we want to know if these robotic made, these AI made wheelchair is still operational, Dr. Tufton, in our healthcare. We want to know, Dr. Tufton, if the dead people them will never finish the appropriations account for the 8 years. The billions missing out of the healthcare, Dr. Tufton. We want to know if these wheelchairs are still operational, or is this fake news, Dr. Tufton? Could this just be fake news? Could we make it up with AI, Dr. Tufton? Or should we go to JBC and RGR, the redundant of broadcasting, to find out, Dr. Tufton, if this is fake news or not? Isn't that what Dana Morris Dixon said? Are you here, Shelley Coran? If you're here, hold your hands up. Isn't that what Dana Morris Dixon says? When we want to know if it's fake news or not, we must go to government sources or mainstream media. And that them teach we, you know. Cousin Ron, wagwan. And that them teach we. So when we want to know if it's truth or not, go to government sources. Or go, hey Brenda, talk about retrofitting. Yes, on name retrofitting. I wonder how much billion, Dr. Tufton, because we know that the retrofitting of the tax administration in building in Mandeville will cost us $1 billion. I wonder how much it costs the healthcare to do retrofitting of these wheelchairs, Dr. Tufton. Or how much did it cost the wheelchair, the health service, Dr. Tufton, to AI robotically created these wheelchairs? And how much of these robotically AI created wheelchairs are operational, Dr. Tufton, across our healthcare? Because don't want to talk to it. Cousin Jamie Wagwan, send go tell Fly Green, say me I call him there because, as me telling him I got unpopular this morning, because I'm openly campaigning for Fly Green this morning. The Prime Minister must step aside in order for good management to prevail over the country. And I'm campaigning for Fly Green or Currency and Morrison this morning because the whole of them over the messy and dirty, you know. But we have to find one or two from over there to replace what we have now. The continuation of Andrew Holness is destructive to the country and will be the death of the Jamaica Labour Party. So no send go call Fly Green and tell him so with the way a campaign because we would have preferred to put him in management more than what we have now. What we have now, what? Do we still have these wheelchairs, Dr. Tufton, operational across our healthcare? I hope $1 billion just a fling, so you know, whole heap. But yet still, we're not getting the service that we've been promised. When all I know, I take all sort of contracts and go and friend them. But if you understand the Westminster politics, the Conservative Party, the Jamaica Labour Party, is a mirror image of the Conservative Party in England. We just get whooped out with it. And I'm going to show you a clip later on from them to show you the destruction that these multimillionaire hedge fund holders, how they treat us, they call the poor people. So we just want to know from Dr. Tufton if these are operational and would like somebody to from government to conversate with we. Because one can't dismiss we, you know. One cannot dismiss we. Try as you might. Because when you see what you want to say, what the vlogger them talk about, you know. But when we ask the question them what Jamaicans wants to hear, nobody don't want to answer. But we now go get rid of it. What else we have to talk about? Global medic. Can I hear the Prime Minister walk and take everybody's support? I mean, not hear them talk about the help what Global Medic, a Toronto charity, is sending into Jamaica. But Global Medic sent over 1,400 emergency kits to Jamaica, and they've also sent care packages as well. But I think they're also doing water purification. Ruby. Well, that's true, Ruby. Lord Jesus, I thought we don't have. I did ask about your house. The roofing was okay. Even though nobody would manage to get inside then, but the main concern they would say everybody house you couldn't avoid water getting in from whether be under door, window, ceiling, or somewhere. But all of the roofing down the side where your house is were spared. But Ruby, who found over JLP? Who found over JLP is going to replace Andrew? Because he has to be replaced by somebody else. And it's our duty to promote one of the lesser thieves, even though we don't know how thief Flight Green is. We don't hear currency name called upon thief yet. But what is the choice do we have? Because we can't continue with Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness is not good for the Jamaica Labour Party, nor is he good for the country. Who do we replace him with? Because what I don't want in Jamaica at the next general election is for the country to be tilted in the way that it was tilted at the general election 2020. Me want a legislative balance to the country. The way how Andrew Holness go at the moment, especially in this time of disaster with Jamaicans on the ground, and I may say it when you listen to all of what people is saying over social media, there isn't much help coming from the government. There isn't fast enough service coming from JPS, a government shareholder public service company. Whole heap of support is coming into the country, and them not talk about it because it not trickling down to the people. The people on the ground across the country Prime Minister, the people are demonstrating. People have started demonstrated based on how slow they think the relief effort is going. Of course, it is a heavy task, Prime Minister. One is not going to deny you or the government of that. Marjorie lied. But based on how it is going, Prime Minister, there is a woeful lack of management and lack of pre-preparedness that we were told about. Pauline McInnes. The country, Prime Minister, has been overwhelmed. And it doesn't seem to us, or the people on the ground, that you have asked for international support to come in and help Jamaica to get back on its feet. It's the people on the ground when you monitor what's going on over social media. It's the people on the ground that are saying those things. We now make it up in a social media land talk. The people on the ground across Jamaica are saying they're not seeing much of government. It cannot continue like this. This is just the start of the hurricane season. Jamaica is left exposed. We need all sort of help to come help we to rebuild before a next hurricane come, Ralston. There isn't good management going on here, Mural King. If you listen to the people on the ground, and I'm not on the ground, so I can't say the people them a tell lie. I can't say the people them a play politics. The people them a show the dereliction still lying around them. The country does not have the amount of resources or manpower, logistic resources or manpower. We need to ask the US and Canada and the rest of the Caribbean for logistical help. We need operational management on the ground. We need more boots on the ground, administratively and operationally, Prime Minister. The one social worker constituency can't do, will not do, and will never get to some people. It is a confusing task for one social worker, all the way from Treasure Beach down to Black River, Brompton, you name it. Floyd Green constituency is a big constituency, you know. One social worker. How far you think that person is going to get? Given the people are waiting to see somebody come to render some help and assistance to them. There is a woeful lack of management. Fitzroy Samuels, Ronald B. There is a woeful lack of management going on here. And the people of Jamaica will have to stand up for themselves. Take the politics out of it and look at your community at the moment. Take the politics out of it and look at the state of your community at the moment, whichever side of the political fence you may be on. The super dumbs of the Caribbean, Dian, because of that we're portrayed at the moment on the international scene. We have had 2 hurricanes prior to Beryl, Gilbert and Ivan. And you mean so the whole governance structure of Jamaica, the whole public service, the whole public sector of Jamaica, as a country, we have learned nothing from the 2 previous experiences, how to prepare and how to manage ourselves in such a disaster. The army beat and teach. Do they have all the necessary equipment where they have engineering wise to do this job, because same way they can take with army them and roll them out and turn police. This is what Jamaica army for, you know. The police in what Jamaica army I do. The Haiti intervention with Jamaica army I do. I know them something the Jamaica army for. These are where army become nurses, doctors, engineer, laborer, all sort of them something the army do. But from you see, the army, immigration, good morning. From you see the army, never go build back Charbridge. You know, say, where army is just all but a name. As everything in our country, governance-wise, it's all but a name. Ron Williams, it's just not reaching to us. I'm not saying the government sit down, folding hand and not doing nothing. The recovery and rebuilding efforts is moving rather too slow because of lack of management and lack of manpower, lack of operational and logistic support. If the government doesn't have it, ask for help. Even the distribution process across the country is rather slow dragging. Today or tomorrow or Tuesday, so we expect a cabinet briefing tomorrow. Want to hear anything concrete from the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance as yet as to how much money them are going to use for drag Jamaica out of this, how much support they are going to give to people on the ground to help rebuild back them life. But take a look at a bit of the work that Global Medic, apart from all the donations, because Global Medic think them reach Jamaica from last week, Friday, where nobody not talk about them much. And they're there doing water treatment plant, water purification and that. So take a look. It's just a short.
Water purification system that we use. It comes in three components. The water comes in the inlet here. It's filtered through a sediment filter, a 5-micron sediment filter. It goes through the pump and into a carbon filter. The carbon filter basically takes out the odors and the bad taste. From there, it goes into the UV light, and the UV light kills 99.9% of the microorganisms and bacteria that are in the chamber. And then from there, it leaves the chamber, and you've got clean drinking water. This is the AR3 water purification system that we use. It comes in three components. The water comes in the inlet here. It's filtered through a sediment filter, a 5-micron sediment filter. It goes through the pump and into the carbon filter. Basically takes out the odors and the bad taste. From there, it goes into the UV light, and the UV light kills 99.9% of the microorganisms and bacteria that are in the chamber. And then from there, it leaves the chamber, and you've got clean drinking water.
The truth is, Pauline Dix Michael Coley, how are you? The truth is, if we even send in with soldier them now, figure do the work, all the soldier them are going to do is look for women in the community for breed up, as is what Jamaican soldier train for do wherever them go, leave a string of children behind them. So, we want international help. People who know how to coordinate emergency efforts. We lack coordination. We lack skills at the moment. We now display them. What kind of one social worker? The smallest of constituency, it would not have worked. One social worker from the Ministry of Social Security going around documenting people throughout the constituency. It wouldn't work in the smallest of constituency. It's just not workable. But remember, say this year Prime Minister tell we say, mirror on yourself Jamaica after St. Elizabeth people. Because St. Elizabeth people know how to do batter through poor life. Them no bother about pipe water. Them know how to store rainwater in a tank. St. Elizabeth people survive through that. If that wasn't rude and disrespectful in 2024, when the Prime Minister tell we said in 1984, because the Prime Minister was, 12 years old in 1984? Because it couldn't be 1994 you're talking about, Prime Minister. And it couldn't be 1974 either. Because you never see a hearing about me. I tell you what area there, come visit your grandfather at St. Elizabeth. And never 1974, because you did just 2-year-old. And never 1994, because your boy the high school I said catching a chain for thief. Sandra Watkins Bailey. And if Dawkins. So it have to be 1984 when you was 12-year-old Prime Minister. And for a holiday, you come visit your grandfather, a Goshen. And the most refreshing water that our Prime Minister has ever drunk was from stored rainwater in tank in St. Elizabeth. That is what the Prime Minister went to St. Elizabeth after the storm to tell St. Elizabeth people. We need good management. Andrew Holness cannot manage this. Andrew Holness can't cross this. Andrew Holness is not ready for this. Them say them prepared, but we now see the preparedness. Jamaica people on the ground a ball out say, uno do prepare. So we have to listen to them. We are their voices, Janet Beckford. We have to listen to them. It started, Miss Morris Dixon, with the Prime Minister said, he's tracking us. And you come out and say, the Prime Minister not track with Claudette. Nobody's been tracked. We still await upon you and the Prime Minister to come and sing with one voice and give with clarity as to what the Prime Minister meant and as to what you meant, because in the context of all of that, Miss Morris Dixon, we were dealing with the whole issue of fake news. Were we not? And in that, Miss Morris Dixon, you told us, if you want to know if it's fake or not, go to reputable sources, such as government or mainstream media. Hey, mainstream media, Miss Morris Dixon. It was in mainstream media at the start, prior to Hurricane Beryl emerges. It was in mainstream media in foreign. The Prime Minister told a foreign journalist that we have 900 shelters across the country. 900 shelter, 900 polling station, we don't know yet, but we're asking. 900. Then the Minister of Works was interviewed again by foreign. You have to talk like say the foreign. Foreign. The Minister of Works said, go to any of her 780 odd shelters across the country. Discrepancy. The Prime Minister is singing Hullabaloo. The Minister of Work is singing Prete Mesure. Then the Minister of Local Government was interviewed by Yard Media. So them have to talk down because them come down off of the high seat and come down a dot. So when they come down a dot, Desmond McKenzie said, we have 60 odd shelters across the island. Desmond McKenzie was then invited by foreign media, so you don't have to come off a dot and gone back up Pantry Limb. Desmond McKenzie said to his foreign media, we have 800 and must say 70 odd shelters across the island. Whether you're talking about shelter, Sifu Francis, whether you're talking about shelter or polling station is a matter of opinion. Why am I saying polling station? When I look on my MP's Facebook account and he publishes the list of shelters, it were all the schools across Mr. Green constituencies that are used as polling station that was used as shelter. Now, if they are to be caught in a pickle and want to run out of it, the Prime Minister can easily well count 900 schools across the country. So can the minister of this and the minister of that. It's easy for them to count up the number them attack, because such is the amount of polling station across the country. It is such as the amount of shelter. Do the maths. Do the maths for yourself. That, Miss Morris Dixon, Joseph Heward. That, Miss Morris Dixon. The Minister of Water, yes, Matthew Samuda. That, Miss Morris Dixon, requires clarification to a confused public who was warned that when they have been misinformed by fake news, we were directed to a reputable source. And we are asking Miss Morris Dixon, Michael Henry Case. We are asking Kevin Davis, Joan Bailey, please clarify to us whose number is correct, who lied to us, who misinformed us, who disinformed us, who told bad news, who told fake news, who, Miss Morris Dixon, told blatant lies. Of course we can ask these questions. Otherwise we must drop the democracy and all of that wrangles that come with it. So please, Miss Morris Dixon, don't play deaf round here. Don't play deaf round here. The nation is asking for clarity. You can't come talk to we and come tell we how it figure and what it do, Miss Morris Dixon, when it benefit uno. But when dunce like me will barely make it through Jamal school. Dunce like me, Miss Morris Dixon, well, 1 and 1 plus 1 equal 11. Miss Morris Dixon, you can't just left me so. Me the 1 plus 1 equal 11. You can't just left me so confused out here. I want to know if there was a false narrative, if there was a lie, if there was a misinformation, if information were told in hyperbole. Miss Morris Dixon, you can't left with some Wayne Evans. You can't left with someone don't want to talk to it. Shall it read? Then if we go, they go talk now. You hear say we are mischief maker. Another political organization pay we. We're fake news carrier. When we can't get the negative, we make the bad, and when we can't make the bad, we talk the fake. So that apply to that and this apply to this. Because you can't contact fake news. blatantly stare into camera and tell lies. And we fi talk the truth. We don't never know say we grow learn how to tell lie too. As much as we don't use the lie them, bare face and stupid the like because that's why we don't know and Donald Trump a friend, you know. The only person who tell bare face lie like Donald Trump is the Jamaica Labour Party. Nobody else will tell them type of bare face lie there. But then with time with dry eyes so. Some of them we are going to church, go bawl. Some of them we hear dead baby, a bawl to them at night time. That's how lie they are. We can't continue with this. Andrew Holness is not leading the country. Andrew Holness is terrorizing the country. This is not leadership, Prime Minister. There ought to be somebody in the Jamaica Labour Party that can take the party forward. The longer you hold on to the party, you're killing the electability of a lot of your MPs at the next general election. You can't play deaf to it. We're out here and we're going to shout, we're going to make noise, we're going to jump and we're going to roll, and we're going to talk, and we're going to sit down and demand, say we're peaceful, and we want resolution from the government. We, the people, want a share of it. Karen Forbes, my brother, how you do? We, the people, want a share of it. The government can't continue to get up and tell we lie every day, so. The government can't continue to raid the budget every day, so. The government cannot continue to mismanage the country. And then everybody just sit down with it, so. And the government is hoping to be given another term, given its miserable, dismal track record. Come on, Jamaica people. Better day ahead. Something is saying here, loudly and clearly, a part of the mass dereliction where the JPS suffer during the hurricane, it's not really about the force of the hurricane per se, but a lot, as we can clearly see over the country, it was poor investment, and hugely poor maintenance. And that affects JPS right now, you know. The biggest problem JPS is having from this hurricane is because JPS was poorly maintained. Only we know that. And we live in our community them. And know say the light posts where we grandmother come grow see. Uno grow come see it, uno children and uno grandchildren grow come see it. Poor maintenance. Very poor maintenance across the country. It is why you see JPS. It is why you see JPS is left in this pickle. Why they're hit so hard. Coconut tree withstand. A lot of coconut tree withstand with JPS light wire or lamp posts never withstand. Because they were poorly maintained. Not much investment has been done across the JPS infrastructure since PJ Patterson sold it out. One of the deals when PJ Patterson sell it was for them maintain it and upgrade it. It has not been done. Nobody don't see. Patricia, how are you? Nobody don't see and enforce nothing across Jamaica. And this is one of the problems what we have faced right now with JPS, where poor maintenance has caused the system to collapse this badly. Because if JPS was properly maintained, if JPS systems have been properly upgraded, remember, so we're the first world of the Caribbean, How first world are going so? What kind of example this first world of the Caribbean is really setting for somebody come up to the mark and say, I want to be like Jamaica? Huh? Prime Minister, I want to be like Jamaica? No, sir. John Brown, I want to be like Jamaica. I got turn long upon the citizenship argument here. I want to say to Andrew Holness, the Gleaner, Cliff Hughes, redundant people. The citizenship argument, the constitutionally of it, there is none. The argument you want to push Jamaica citizen alone will only be valid under a new constitution. The British Administrative Protectorate document, which we have now, which we call a constitution, says Commonwealth citizen. The constitution we have does not give Jamaicans any right over any other Commonwealth citizen. Shut up on a mouth and move on and deal with the what is important to Jamaica, which is recovering from the expose what Beryl left on the expose. When you stop right about the citizenship, Jamaica only, blah, blah, blah. When you make a whole lot of look dunce, when you not keep speak of something the Constitution does not have regards for. The Constitution, as you call it, does not have regards to Jamaica, does not have regards for Jamaican citizens. Never spoke of UNO. A UNO walk and make it up. A UNO want feel like somebody. A UNO want feel like somebody. And I walk and make it up. The Constitution never says so. The Constitution said Commonwealth citizen. So until a new Constitution is written and is adopted, and is adopted by the Jamaica people, shut up about the bullcrap wanna promote, the promotion of dunceness, Jamaica Labour Party, and the media circus. Uno dunce. We realize so uno dunce. We see how far behind uno there. It's glaring, it's plain. Uno top show we're not blind. Move on. The country have great issue to deal with at the moment. Stop writing about EFRI. Stop misguiding the people them. Stop pull wool over the people them eye. The Constitution spoke nothing about Jamaicans. I wanna make up this bullshit as wanna go along. Florence Bennett. Stop it. Uno dunce. We've seen it. It's been shown to us. Why not keep ramming home on a dunceness? You think you can show us that you are any duncer than you are? Anthony Stewart. Do you think you can be any duncer than you are by keep talking about this Jamaican only bullshit to any of you commentators, politicians, or media source writing about it? What would sound better is for you to have the argument that we need to rewrite our constitution. We don't need to stop this bullshit. The Constitution don't regard Jamaicans. It regards Commonwealth citizens. And that's what we have to abide by until it's changed. Uno just dunce. Rupert Legister, how are you? Uno just good dunce. And uno take a joy out of wallowing into the dunceness. What's this on the dunce, man? Uno don't have to enforce it anymore. Santa Cruz got light yesterday, Janet Harriet says. I think Black River also came back on stream yesterday or so, I think. But the rest, broadly across the constituency, or not across the constituency, across the parish, a lot of people are still out. But like the town centers, they're trying to get those back on first, I think. And like the main roads and so on. But the government needs to get help into the country. We don't want another hurricane come catch we like this. It will be super devastating. And that's where the major concern is, Prime Minister. We must rebuild Nifty Friend in order so we don't want another hurricane no come liquid when we already down. How hard is that for anybody with a brain between them two ears to think? A country that should have learned from previous experience is wobbling, Cheryl Benjamin, is wobbling in dealing with a disaster which we've had in my life. 2 of them, 3 now. This is Jamaica's 3rd hurricane in a lot of us, whether a lifetime perspective power. We have not learned, based on how we are going at the moment, we have learned nothing from the previouses, because we should be way ahead in managing our relief and recovery efforts. But we need good management. We can't continue so with this type of all over the place, run round and take picture, run round and make promises, and the resources now get to the people on the ground. It don't make sense. The people have no joy in seeing the Prime Minister running around the country taking photos and taking and shaking hands. It's not what the people require at the moment. The people require them to be back on power and to be back on communication and to get them business back up and running, because a whole heap of them at the moment, the liquor profit run out in a generator gas. Generator gas, I take back the liquor profit out of business, Prime Minister. So we want extra resources put into the JPS. We want the government ask for international help. If the government have them kill this boy, Miss Parish Garden. If the government have them kill this boy, lay down up a upper camp, nah, do nothing. Them kill this boy, want to send go in a community, go kick woman in a them pregnant belly and take gun, lick pregnant woman. I hope you don't have them kill this boy there, lay down up a upper camp, nah, do nothing, while Jamaica need the assistance. While Jamaica needs to be recovered. I hope to God. Gilbert, Ivan, and now Beryl. There was Ivan between Gilbert and Beryl, Andrea. So, Now it's NWC fair in Island wide. Nothing at Jamaica not working at the moment. Everything at Jamaica poorly maintained. Everything. Mm. Everything at Jamaica poorly maintained. Nothing. Them not spend money pan because them have to thief everything and share it up between them and them friend them. Nothing in a Jamaica no purely no maintain. Look pan with health service, pop down, broke down, drop down. Look pan with schools. We were there got schools in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. We school them deteriorate. Hmm? We healthcare deteriorate. We road infrastructure them deteriorate. Sean Blair, how are you? Oh, Hurricane Sandy. Did Hurricane Sandy affect Jamaica as well? I know Sandy affected the United States. And I think it was Haiti affected by Sandy. I remember Sandy. I don't remember how much Jamaica was affected by Sandy. Please tell us more, Sean Sinclair. Do you pronounce your name Sean or Sian? I remember Sandy. I remember Katrina, but do we never? Katrina did more of the United States. Katrina ravished, isn't it? Yes, landfall. Okay. I didn't remember the effects of Sandy. So that means that then this is four now then. Gilbert, Ivan, Sandy. What year was Sandy, please? And now a Beryl. And we're galang so. We saw chaka chaka. We saw chaka chaka. After so much experience, we're resident of the hurricane zone. We don't need the X 2011 was Sandy. Some saying 2011, 2012, but it would have been around those times. We still are going chaka chaka so. 4 hurricane now in a few lifetime. Kevin Fairclough. And we still so chaka chaka. As a country, we not learn nothing. As a government, as a public sector. Right, the hurricane mash up Jamaica. And we saw chaka chaka. Four hurricane now. And we saw chaka chaka. We saw confused. We saw slow. We saw ill and unprepared. Dennis and Dean. There was also Dennis and Dean. Dennis and Dean did affect Jamaica badly. I don't remember Dennis. I think I remember Dean, but I don't remember Dennis. We should be very experienced in dealing with all this. We should prepare for the very worst. Dean was in 2007. Was Dean around October time? What month was Dean? Because it's true that there was some bad weather in Jamaica. No, it wasn't October, it was March, April, the bad weather. When we know of 2007. And we still so chaka chaka. We still so all over the place. We still are sure say we don't learn nothing. Not one thing. Not one thing we didn't properly prepared. Or we learn and we don't care, or we don't have the willpower to do. Is it that we learn, we don't care, we don't have the willpower to do? Sandra Ellis, how are you? So we deal with the Trump issue earlier. So JTA and them boohoo's, them legal challenge against the JTA member will accept the pay fundle from the government. Because you know the government stitch up Dennis in December 2005. The government stitch up some of the people them in a hierarchy to enforce then cheap wage labor upon those in the rank and file. So JTA sue one of the others sue JTA for accepting the wage offer from the government. So we wait for the development in that case, yeah, so you know, say, August 2007 was Dean. So you know, say, the public sector pay galangin when it with regards to the teacher them is still up in the air because they're suing to more likely overturn the acceptance of that package. Hurricane Alan in 1979. You know, ever heard of Hurricane Alan? Congratulations to Sandy Isaacs on winning the JCDC festival competition. I was watching it other night. Minister of Dance and Transgenderism, because that is Babsy News title now. Minister of Dance and Transgender. Because that's all Babsy do. If you want to find Babsy, you have to go with any old pananak. To find Babsy. Because other than dancing, I'm going to walk and sign in deal with Canada. Murder run. No, sir. Murder runs the Hurricane Saga in 1980. Murder to what's it, not people. No, sir. Hey, Nigel Clark. Nigel Clarky, Anki, Nigel Clark. Away I try to hide. You did get the report, you never talk about it. Nigel Clark, away you they hide. What are you hiding, Nigel Clark? What is Nigel Clark hiding? What does Nigel Clark want to pull a wool over? What does Nigel want to keep under the blanket? Sweep it under the carpet, says Nigel. The court says, no. We're going to lift the carpet and let the dust fly, Nigel Clark. Thiefing Nigel Clark. Nigel Clark, we take with money, pay him, man them for service him, Nigel Clark. Nigel Clark will send him friend go buy a building and say, me will rent it for you and me run the purse. Nigel Clark standing behind the wife with the ring and the children, Nigel Clark. On a call Footer there, I have a few questions for Footer. I want to speak to Footer Hype this morning in Wire Fence. Right? I want to speak to Footer Hype in Wire Fence this morning. Anybody know a Footer? Tap Footer on his shoulder and said, Global TV, want to explain why offense to you this morning. Nigel Clark wants to protect the criminality. Nigel Clark, who got the report, Kenil, about the failure at SSL and other financial institutions. Nigel Clark gave Andrew Holness insider information, allowing Andrew Holness to pull his money out of SSL, leaving everybody money to be swallowed up the way TD Jake was swallowed up. Insider trading, one could call it. Allowing the SSL to collapse. That is the point. When Nigel got that report from the FAC or whatever hullabaloo they are, when Nigel got that report, that is when what Nigel should have taken SSL into receivership, because it's a failing institution. Nigel turned a blind eye, did he not? Even when the SSL scandal broke, Nigel Clark denied the report. FFE said, we said it. We said it. Nigel Clark went into his cabinet, digged up, found the envelope with dust, cobweb, cleaned it off, and was surprised by the report. Then he went all over the place, flipping and flopping, FBI, foreign this, foreign that, and it just had gone so. But that Nigel Clark also took 14 million of your taxpayers' money to keep SSL afloat. And this Nigel Clark went around trying to convince you that it's not taxpayers' money, it's money from confiscation. Who does that confiscated money belongs to, Nigel, if not the state? Then he went around to tell us, oh, we found out that they were in an insurance with such a like and Mafia-lites. And it just a guan, so. And from we hear Nigel buy dopey building. From we hear Nigel buy buildings to house dopey flies and cobwebs, spiders involved. Crickets too. Not a word from Nigel. This very Nigel is the Nigel that will be spending the money for the relief effort, which cannot get him head around how it is going to be done, where it is going to be taken from, and how much Dr. Clark will use to rebuild this country. Not a word. But this Dr. Clark is fighting to cover up crime. This Dr. Clark is fighting to cover up fraud. This Dr. Clark is fighting to cover up his failure of 8 years. You couldn't make it up in any other first world country. Because one thing about first world countries, there is what you call accountability frameworks and accountability mechanism. Hey, Doctor, the dishonorable Clark. Dr. the dishonorable Clark. You could have fool with. That's what I got to talk about you right now. You can't go on. That's my brother who operates the Pelican Bar, Floyd. And Pelican Bar has really survived the wrath and thrown about at Beryl. As Floyd says in his word, Pelican Bar was not built to fight against or withstand the force of nature, but rather to work in harmony with the the force of nature, as the way it is built, the wind and the water flows through it quite easily. So it minimizes any catastrophic damage that would have been done. A woman has been awarded over 100 million in damages after surgery at Cornwall Regional Hospital left her paralyzed, Dr. Tufton, because of incompetency at Cornwall. I wonder if it's lack of operational logistics and service that would aid the incompetency, doctor, that caused such a massive negligence payout. Just saying, doctor, we keep a track on everything, you know. Keeping a track on everything. Fool, idiot, stupid boy, fool boy. When you used to come a parity, how many people would know that you used to come a parity? You never learn nothing from sensible parity people. Idiot boy. Stupid ass Reagan King. You never learn nothing all the time you come a parity. And sister, we may be poor, but we're not fool. Fool boy. Shut up. You should be grateful that you're still alive. And you're still one gun for what go kill one another for somebody picking it, or for somebody come kill you and take it. Idiot boy. Shut up. Uno stupid boy in a Jamaica where God bless uno. Forget a bus out of the jungle and out of the ghetto. Uno are fool as F.K. Fool. Stupid. Idiot. Shut up. Damn fool. Shut up. If you don't give me something for talk, we're going to talk. Why you don't portray positivity if you don't want people to talk about it? Well, on a backside idiot coming like Andrew Holness. One want walk people who walk and talk nice things about on murderers, gangsters, gunmen, scammers, and freaking hooligans. And if you talk nice about shut up, you damn fool. Backwards idiot. Fool like duck, little boy. Stupid. Fool. Idiot. Back of the class. Dunce. God give you a brain and you can't even manage it. And everybody will have talent, have sense. Boo-boo. Fool. Backwards donkey. Born back a cow. Born back a cow, Reagan King. And everybody will have talent, have sense. Norman Ferguson, how are you? Ransford McLean. Little boy, just shut up. Shut up. I make my mind on a business. Hey, good morning, Footer Hype. A wire fence. Anybody know how wire fence go? You have what is called 4 corner posts, Footer Hype. At 1 minute I thought, Dalton Harris bleach out. All Footer and Dalton Harris in a picture together, one would ask. But we're going to talk in a wire fence this morning, Footer Hype. We're going to explain to you, Footer Hype, about the 4 corner posts. And remember, Footer Hype, the corner posts, feline. You need to brace the 4 corner posts, Footer Hype. So the corner posts straighten up, Footer Hype. So the whole fence, hallelujah, don't collapse, Footer Hype. Straighten up the man posts. You, Footer Hype. Remember, Ninja Man grow the gully queen, did he not? Sometimes you must be careful what you wish or don't wish for. But one thing I want to say to you, Footer Hype, brace up the man force. You have to, if you want to keep the wire fence up, Footer Hype. If you want to keep the wire fence up, you have to brace up the man post. Strengthen it. Now make it look lean, bend over, slightly over there, so and so on, footer hype. Bear up the land post. The man post need to be reinforced, footer. It look too lean. It look like it tilt this up, bend this up. Huh? Come on, footer. You don't know how them fence land. Don't you know about the 4-man post and the strengthening of the man post in order for the fence to fall down? Just saying, footer, me not take no hype. Me not take no set on you. But let us introduce to you why more and more we cut out meat out of our system. I'm not there yet, but I'm trying hard. So them say a footer picnic, so everybody has say, I say, why straight footer wouldn't have somebody lean down upon him? So the straight nation footer, me no know EM morning, how are you?
About chicken. My people need to hear this, man. They need to hear this because I saw that thing you put up on your Instagram, and I was like, that blew my wig all the way back. So could you take the time out to explain to my audience?
Yeah, so the chicken is not a hybrid. The chicken is GMO. The chicken was actually created by splicing genes and introducing certain type of DNA into what you would call a red-winged jungle fowl and a black gray-winged jungle fowl from Africa. That's where you get chickens from. Chickens are not real. And because they were actually created in a laboratory per se, I'm gonna say that the reason why, because they did gene splicing to them. They're acidic to the body. They create a whole lot of uric acid. They also, when you cook them, they turn into heterocyclic amines. Heterocyclic amines is very malignant forming to the cells, meaning it causes cancerous cells. And then the smell from it comes from something called hydroaromatic hydrocarbons. And these hydroaromatic hydrocarbons is bad. It causes throat cancer. Chickens are just bad, and their eggs are bad too. And then plus it's a meat. So they'll tell you that chickens come from the dinosaurs were their ancestors. And that's a complete lie, because when you look at the genealogy of the chicken, especially what the Rothschilds and the DuPonts at the Rothschilds Museum in Jerusalem in New York said about the chicken, they actually give you the history on where they come from. So, chickens are not new. Now, you see things about hens in the Bible and certain other literature, but they're actually talking about gray-winged fowls and red-winged fowls. That's what they was calling hens and chick hens back then. This new chicken that we talking about is totally false, and it's not only a hybrid, but it's GMO, and it's causing a lot of sicknesses, and it's one of the number one cancerous causing artificial meats in the world, y'all. Chicken causes cancer. And if you want to get down into the actual science of it, all of the political science, all you have to do is go on my YouTube, Yaki Awaken, and look at all of and you can cite this stuff. All you got to do is Google it. And I'm offering $5,000 to anybody to clinically prove me wrong. $5,000. If you can go on there and dispute that with other articles, or you can dispute that with anything that is actually holds up and stands that's got a credible source that's behind it, I will give you some money showing you that I'm willing to bet everything on my bottom dollar that chicken is artificial. Chickens are new. Same thing with the cow. The cow actually comes from a Mexican black bull and a white Brahma bull from West Africa. That's where you get your modern day cow from. And Dr. Sebi been saying this for years. It's just now we have the science to prove this stuff. The vulture, which is your modern day turkey. The turkey comes from the vulture. Look at them. They look just alike. So, we've been eating things and calling it food, but the true food for human beings is a fruit diet, a frugivore diet, and limited vegetables. That's all. And like I said, is we at that point right now? I don't think we are. I think we have a lot of expanding of consciousness and a lot of healing to do. But, there's nothing wrong with looking towards that, though, and to say, okay, now I know I'm a God. I know my diet. I know what my liver's supposed to be. Let me start at least integrating some of that into my weekly, my weekly plans and goals.
Just wanted to bring that information to you. Let me explain the buckle and footer ankle for those who may not understand. It's an immigration buckle. First time immigration buckles used to be limit you to an address at certain period of the day. Because of some human rights challenges, they are no longer like that. You still wear the buckle. You can be anywhere, but there's a reporting via the telephone, whereas the first type of buckle, they used to have a device at your home where they come to do a curfew on you. But these new type of buckle now, they are linked to a phone where they can monitor you from the buckle on the phone, and they can communicate with you via the phone. But what Foota is wearing, it's an immigration buckle. Yes, the Conservative Party in Britain and the Jamaica Labour Party in Jamaica are pretty much the same thing in mirror image. Look at what conservatism have done and how they operate, and it's the same similar way the Jamaica Labour Party operates.
Rishi Sunak, a man who lives on a different planet from the rest of us. 1980. Sunak is born at Southampton General Hospital. He goes on to attend Oakmount Private Prep School and Winchester College, one of the country's most expensive private schools. 1996. The teenage Sunak is a keen supporter of the Conservative Party. In an article for Winchester College magazine, the 16-year-old Sunak bitterly opposes the Labour Party's proposal to introduce a national minimum wage of £3.60 an hour. He campaigns for the Tories at the next election. 1998. Sunak leaves Winchester for Oxford. There he becomes president of the university's Investment Society. The 19-year-old Sunak and his Oxford friends spend their student days organising role-playing games where they pretend to be bankers. The young Sunak tells a reporter, "It's exciting with the buzz of the real situation, especially when the bankers compute which team has made the most money." 2001. He appears in a BBC documentary in which he discusses the social calibre of his friends.
I have friends who are aristocrats, I have friends who are upper class, I have friends who are, working class, but I'm not working class.
That year, he wins a place on the graduate training scheme of the US investment bank Goldman Sachs. 2004, Sunak moves to California. There he meets Akshata Murthy, the daughter of the Indian billionaire businessman Narayana Murthy, founder of the IT giant Infosys. Akshata Murthy's 1% stake in her father's company is worth more than $100 million. 2006, Sunak returns to London where he becomes a partner at the hedge fund TCI. 2007, Sunak is part of a small team of hedge fund bosses who, according to the Times newspaper, liked the touch paper on the 2008 financial crisis. He shares in a £100 million fortune after TCI forces a deal that loads the Royal Bank of Scotland with crippling debt and leads to a £45.5 billion government bailout. The crash that follows will decimate the living standards of millions of Britons. Sunak, meanwhile, becomes a multimillionaire in his mid-20s. 2009. As the financial crisis rages, Sunak and a colleague, Patrick DeGorse, decamp to California and launch a new hedge fund, Telem Partners. The fund is registered in the Cayman Islands, a notorious offshore tax haven. DeGorse will later be landed with an £8 million tax avoidance bill. Sunak is reunited with Akshata Murthy in California. The couple rent a $20,000 a month beachfront apartment in Santa Monica. In August, they marry. 2013. By now, Sunak is set on becoming an MP. He moves back to the UK and starts looking for a seat to stand in. 2015. He becomes the Conservative MP for Richmond in Yorkshire, despite having no discernible connection to the town. He buys a stately home in the constituency, set in acres of parkland with a private lake. He now owns 4 houses that cost a total of £12 million. 2019. Sunak backs Boris Johnson to be Tory leader. Johnson wins and makes him Chief Secretary to the Treasury, one rung below Chancellor. February 2020. Dominic Cummings executes a Downing Street coup in which Chancellor Sajid Javid is forced to resign and Sunak is given his job. As Chancellor, Sunak now has the power to set taxes in the UK. What isn't known at the time is that he's listed as a beneficiary of trusts registered in the tax havens of the British Virgin Islands and Cayman Islands. March 2020. A new flu-like virus that emerged in China is now spreading rapidly in the UK. Meanwhile, a sudden and noticeable change occurs in the new Chancellor's social media output, with the previous uninspiring and sometimes awkward content being replaced with slick posts in which Sunak seeks to present himself as both dynamic and very normal. It is the birth of Brand Rishi, a PR campaign led by social media consultants paid for by the taxpayer. As Britain goes into lockdown, Sunak announces a series of economic measures to weather the crisis, including the furlough scheme. The Brand Rishi team goes into overdrive, attempting to mould public opinion of the Chancellor in an effort to ensure he gets political credit for the government's approach. In reality, the economic measures put in place by Sunak are racked by fraud, waste and cronyism. Under Sunak's watch, total fraud against the taxpayer quadruples in a 2-year span from 5.5 billion to 21 billion. As Chancellor, Sunak also has ultimate responsibility for the purchase of personal protective equipment for doctors and nurses on the COVID front line. It soon emerges that the government set up a VIP lane that channeled billions of pounds of PPE contracts to friends and associates of the Conservative Party, often in exchange for unusable equipment. One of those is Tory peer Baroness Michelle Mone, who's given a £200 million contract for largely unusable PPE. She buys herself a yacht. July 2020. Sunak plans to launch a scheme subsidising people's meals at cafes and restaurants in an effort to get people eating out again. He spends £2 million of taxpayers' money on focus groups and polling to craft the messaging around the scheme, but fails to inform the government's chief medical officer or chief scientific advisor about his idea. The scheme, named Eat Out to Help Out, is launched in a PR blitz, at the centre of which is Brand Rishi. Research will later show that the scheme caused a national rise in COVID infections of between 8 and 17%, while the economic benefits were short-lived. Sir Chris Whitty, England's chief medical officer, privately refers to the scheme as Eat Out to Help Out the Virus. That month, Sunak is pictured with his new Ember Bluetooth-enabled drinks beaker, allowing him to set the exact temperature of his coffee on an app on his phone. The cup retails at £180. June 2021. Sunak applies for planning permission for a new building in the grounds of his constituency home in Yorkshire to house an indoor swimming pool and a plant room. 2 weeks later, Sunak says he will scrap the £20 a week uplift to universal credit. More than 40 charities warn that cutting the uplift will put young people at risk of repeat homelessness. March 2022. The Brand Rishi team stages a photo op, having the Chancellor fill up a car at a Sainsbury's petrol station. It soon emerges the Kia Rio is not his, and was instead borrowed from a Sainsbury's employee for the stunt. Sunak then struggles to use a contactless card. April 2022. Sunak is fined by the police for breaking his government's own lockdown laws. That same month, Sunak and his wife are accused of collecting blood money as it's revealed that Infosys, their family's company in which they hold a significant shareholding, is continuing to operate in Russia following Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Days later, it's revealed that Sunak's wife, Akshata Murthy, is a non-dom, a special tax designation allowing individuals who reside in the UK to say their permanent home is actually abroad, limiting their UK tax liability. It means Murthy is only taxed on her UK income, while her foreign income, including dividends from the couple's share in Infosys, are untaxed in Britain. It's estimated that Murthy's non-dom status saves Sunak and his wife £20 million in tax. At the time, the move was entirely legal. Soon after that, it's revealed that until 6 months ago, Sunak held a US green card. Green card holders must pay US tax on their worldwide income and pledge that America is their forever home. In October 2021, when he gave up his green card, Sunak had been Chancellor for 18 months and years. Friends of Sunak tell the Telegraph newspaper that if he doesn't become Prime Minister before the next election, he'll quit Parliament and move to California. If it became apparent that he wasn't going to be Prime Minister, they say, he would just go. According to the well-sourced article, it is an open secret that Mr. Sunak is attracted to the idea of a future life in California, a place he reportedly referred to as home during a recent official visit there. May 2022. Sunak and his wife appear on the Sunday Times rich list with a £730 million fortune. July 2022. Boris Johnson resigns. The next day, Sunak launches his campaign to succeed Johnson with a slick video and the website readyforrishi.com. Turns out the website domain name was registered 6 months earlier. August 2022. Campaigning for the Tory leadership, Sunak boasts to Tory members in Royal Tunbridge Wells that while he was serving as Chancellor, he'd taken money from deprived urban areas and given it to wealthy towns. The comment is secretly recorded.
I managed to start changing the funding formulas to make sure that areas like this are getting the funding that they deserve. Because we inherited a bunch of formulas from the Labour Party that shoved all the funding into deprived urban areas, then that needed to be undone.
September 2022, Sunak loses the leadership election to Liz Truss. October 2022, Truss lasts just 49 days as Prime Minister before she resigns, outlasted by a lettuce. Tory MPs fix the subsequent vote to select her replacement, making Sunak Prime Minister. Neither Conservative Party members nor the wider public are given a chance to express an opinion on who should lead the country. By now, Sunak's new private heated swimming pool is under construction. It will use so much energy that the local electricity network will have to be upgraded to meet its power demands. Meanwhile, many council-run baths, including in his local area, have been forced to reduce their opening hours owing to increased energy costs.
Led by the donkeys. Led by the donkeys is the exact circumstances we have in Jamaica at the moment. It is the exact leadership we have in Jamaica at the moment. No one understands why these billionaires and millionaires shouldn't come into politics. A startling thing that stood out. During Tony Blair's government, no matter what you want to say about that blood-sucking murderer that Tony Blair is, Tony Blair put funding into deprived communities, black and brown communities. You hear what Rishi Sunak said? We're going to undo that, and we're going to put the funding in a rich people community. It's all about them. And them train the labor them. Listen, Jamaicans, a conservative train labor. And the CIA create labor. A conservative train labor. Be careful when you're going with these bourgeoisies. Be careful when you go with these scrapers, Jennifer Simpson, Sean Doherty. Be careful, EM, Sonia Foster. Be careful, Herbert Tuzelin, Debbie White. It's the same set of thieves. You see, just like how Chris Tufton enrich himself out of COVID, and hope of them politicians enrich themselves out of COVID, the same way Rishi Sunak and them conservative cronies, them Rishi Sunak, Boris Johnson, and their conservative cronies, them. Rishi Sunak benefited greatly from the 2008 financial crash. Rishi Sunak and his wife dodged all heap of tax. Just like when you see what Prime Minister done. Want to be careful of them. Whether it be the British Conservative or the Jamaica Conservative, want to be careful of them. Them no want no good for we. Them don't have interest at heart. They are there to continuously enrich themselves and enrich their friends. And to answer your question, Patricia, yes, Rishi Sunak, who was Chancellor then Prime Minister, Priti Patel, who was Home Secretary, and the other racist one, what you call her, Suella Braverman. Carlos, how you do? Suella Braverman, she was the Attorney General, then she was the Home Secretary. All three of those racists are the descendant of the Indians that Idi Amin kicked out of Uganda because of how they wanted to control the Ugandan economy and keep black Ugandans out of the economy. And Idi Amin said, not here. Go on to Britain, make somebody find place put on. These are the people where Britain used when Idi Amin throw them out. These are the people where Britain used and become the new black people and outride a lot of the things where black people are fight for, and a lot of the fundings will go to black community. Because when it comes to funding, you know, Indian people pretend black on a don't get it mixed up. Oh, in England here. When it comes to funding, Indian people are black. You turn them a thief and wicked them. In England, when it comes to funding, them black. Otherwise, they don't black again. But when it comes to raking and scraping, them black. Them black, oh. They have shown that they are more racist than white people. Me not tell no lie upon Indian people. The attitude and behavior of them, they are more racist than white people. So no stay there. I know everything say black are black. When Indian people say money, when Indian people want funding from government, were allocated to the private community, Indian turn black, oh. Indian turn black. JC Wagwan. You come when my son done. When Indian people want money, when Indian people want government funding, them black. Black, oh. But other than that, them don't black. So uno tande and make everybody outplay you in a politics and uno just sit down and wait. But in closing, let's reiterate the purpose of this program this morning. The program this morning is calling on the Prime Minister for his immediate resignation in order for good management to take the country forward. I'm putting Flight Green or Currency Morrison forward because I don't know what else to choose. I don't even know if Flight Green clean enough to choose. Veteran, where am I in the business for veteran 70 pound overtime? Where am I in the business for veteran? Well, no, sir. I don't know where to put forward, you know. But I don't have no other choice, and I have to choose something from over there. So I'm putting forward Floyd Green or Currency Morrison. In order for good management to prevail, the Prime Minister must step aside and do so with urgency and with respect for the country. Me not have no other choice, run. What may I go choose? Oh no, listen, Andrew has to go. Somebody in the Jamaica Labour Party need to take the reins. Who do you suggest? I'm suggesting Flight Green or Currency Morrison. Who would you suggest? Somebody have to lead the country. Somebody have to lead the Jamaica Labour Party. We have to pick from amongst the devil and his angel. Pick. Pick. Because we have to pick from amongst the devil and his angels, you know. So we have to know this morning, choose. Uno don't have a choice not to say none of them. That doesn't hit this morning. Uno don't have a choice to say none of them. We want one. Choose this morning. Waiting on us to have more faith in ourselves. I do believe that, but until we get the faith in ourselves, maybe you can try anti-faval. Jesus Christ, Andrea. You ever hear faval read yet, man? Flag green for me. Not to flag green, oh. But beat and teaching, if you choose somebody, you can't say not flag green. The choice is to choose one of the devil and his. All right, we can't choose the devil because we know the devil have to go. Which one of the devil's angel do you choose? That's the question this morning. Which one of the devil's angel, Fire Green, cannot accord for a ton load of fertilizer, Jesus Christ? What about prosperity the donkey? Well, I take that on board. I take prosperity the donkey on board. Mommy return. No, me want one out of the labor name. Don't come with no hypothetics this morning. Yes, Flight Green can do it. He and I agree about the party in COVID. He defies and lie and tricks. Jesus, what a calamity here. No, sir. This is calamity. No, sir. Who do you choose? Which of the devil's angel? Not the evil wife. Me no want hear not who. Me want hear who is there that Uno would hand it over to, regardless of the reserved feeling, thinking, or whatever. Let me roll up the comment and say, no Jamaica Gen Z. That's true. I support that comment. I support Mr. Wheel and come again with no Fly Green. That is my choice, beat and teach. What I'm asking you all is to choose which of the devil's angel would you choose? Because one of them have to take over the reins. We cannot say none. This sound like what's in this cricket shows from our boss bullshit. Murder! Help! Somebody run, come here. Jack Mandora, me choice, no sir. Uno have to choose. Gen Z. Yes, I support Gen Z. I might have to appoint someone through the Senate. No, once through the Senate doesn't have the right to become a prime minister. You can only become a prime minister as a member of the representative. So the ones in the Senate are not qualified. Uno have to choose one out of the hang pen. No care what I go along with this morning. You don't have to take one Kevin Fair clutch, a gun you want painting our face. You ain't Kevin? You want gun. Hey, hallelujah. Remember say, Dean say him and James Roberts now they don't go to bad boy. A gun you want painting our face, Kevin? No, sir. Murder with prosperity the donkey. 2 more points. 150. This Ross is crazy. Warmington. Kevar. No, sir. No. Remember say him have the water boat and push broom job. Him are the one who wash the hog pen. So you have to leave Warmington to wash the hog pen. Calamity. Oh, God. The donkey more beautiful than her. Agree with you, Ivan. No, sir. Nobody know the difference. I saw on the left the country. Let me look and see if nobody not say nothing. This is awful picture of garbage on your screen. May I call upon him to resign? So I want things to say him we talk. He's related to Lady of Galilee. Oh, Jesus. Or should we use Lady of Galilee? Beat and teach. Would you throw Lady of Galilee in the ring? Backside. Jamaicans wouldn't learn how to cry to water. You understand? Jamaicans would just learn, resign, dissolve the parliament and call election. I support that. That I support. Hallelujah. Rhoda Mai Crawford. Could put Rhoda in the ring, yes. We could put Rhoda in the ring, but don't you think Gillette would have had her shot, though, Kevin? I set up Rhoda to get shot. Careful the way I do this, man. You know, it look like I set up road if you get shot, boy. Yeah. They even prejudice against the poor in their own country. Yes. Them ruling class people, they don't love poor people. None win. They are all thief. No Sandra Barrett. You don't have the choice to say none. If me would have preferred to go with and who did say that about dissolve Rohan. Resign, dissolve parliament, and call an election. That would have been the more feasible option right now, to be honest with you. I'm non-partisan, can't help you, bro. No, so but somebody have to lead with country. It's not a partisan. Sorry, I'm non-partisan as well. But somebody have to lead the Jamaica Labour Party. It cannot be left up in the air. Hmm? What a calamity. Hmm? What a calamity. Nobody? Seriously? No. Hugging tie. What do I say? Hugging tie. Jesus. Carlos, who is your non-option, option, or whatever, Carlos? Make a roll down the galang in answer. No, sir. What a problem in our country. When none is worthy. Are you all saying none is worthy? Are they saying that? No, sir. Currency Morrison is we're not going to call the young lady crowbait. Me not know. I must tell you, she is no better than the Indian criminal in the red. Read about. No, you say no, you know better than Bobby Jesus Christ, beat and teach. Beat and teach. Beat and teach. Eh? Beat and teach. No, sir. Almighty God. You better we turn with Andrew. You better we turn with Andrew then. Or, as Rowan said, dissolve parliament, resign, dissolve parliament, and call an election. What I'm missing must who's choosing between who? We're choosing who should take over the reins of the Jamaica Labour Party from Andrew, because Andrew is basically collapsed as the leader, as the head of the Jamaica Labour Party, and somebody has to take over the Jamaica Labour Party. Andrew cannot continue. He must resign. Who should we pick from the Jamaica Labour Party to continue? I'm saying Floyd Green or Currency and Morrison, Rhoda Crawford. I don't know. Who do you think? Because one of the devil's angel have to step up in the devil's seat. You have no choice. No Currency. Yeah. Too many crooks in Parliament. No generation and Gen Z a lead. I wish Gen Z would step up. But Rhoda would have such a man in her ears telling her what to do. That's the other thing again, nifty friend. Roll from around the other room. It bad. It bad. Ghostbuster. Elena said, call Ghostbuster. EM said, Nigel. The money launderer. EM, are you talking about the doctor of money laundering? No, sir. What say you want to get, you know? And now Nigel would have walk and buy rent yacht for him friend them. See him friend them go spend good time. And you turn there. Careful what you wish for. He might just use on the money for rent him friend them yacht. For him friend them go have party. Oh, Currency and Morrison. Call us, I go for Currency. Dissolve Parliament and call a fresh election. Me go for that as well too. Yes, call an election. A man not a Delilah so. Oh, agree with Raymond. Floyd Green. Jamaican Carlos, enough blessing. Mike Henry. Ah, God. I saw me know you mean well, Jason K. Whoa. But Jason Kane, when you think about it, it couldn't get worse. We might as well make a dead man palm bed lead with country the way it is going. It would be no difference if it's dead Mike Henry waiting for his casket to arrive was at the helm. It really wouldn't make any difference. So in it really, Janet Moody, how are you? It could really well have Mike Henry there because whether you lay down, sit down, or turn up, it don't make a difference at the moment. So you're right. You could well, Gen Z, Ed Bartlett, Lord God, Ed Bartlett. When you're not afraid of Ed Bartlett and Empower Sir, Kevin Free Clutch. When you're not afraid of Ed Bartlett and Empower Sir, ask the rafters about Ed Bartlett. Ask the rafters about Edman Bartlett. When you're not afraid of Ed Bartlett Power, sir? Mister, if you're not afraid of Ed Bartlett, backhoe and power, sir. Remember, Ed Bartlett walked with backhoe like the Prime Minister. Remember, the Prime Minister did walk go over Clifton with backhoe? Do you know that Edmund Bartlett walked with backhoe and chainsaw? Be careful, Kevar, no wish for. Me just saying, be careful. We're going for Gen Z this morning. Be careful. Monica Harton has a flight green. No female Jezebel. No, sir. None worthy. I want a sperm whale. Jesus. Jesus. Oh. Hey. No, sir. I search for find, If none of no can't find nothing. You mean say all the search and I search out of the 49 Gillette Catbirds. Gillette Catbirds. Since I had the blood clot MP, pardon the expression. Since I had the blood clot MP, me tired of your cut. That Gillette Catbirds? Okay. If I that you want to hear when you call Prime Minister Cuthbert Flynn, for Prime Minister Cuthbert Flynn, run you up rather than carriages. Go on. Just go on. Fred Green out partying while Jamaicans under lockdown. Waste of time. Tourism minister. We not go on. Oh, Vaz. We don't want to be raped and murdered. Careful one wish for. When I call Vaz name. Might never know what might happen to you. But just look for fine. If I say Audley Shaw, put his age aside, I could recommend Audley Shaw, but I think those people need to enrich themselves enough already. Go on about your no business. So no Audley Shaw. JLP government, a box food, out of mouth and rob even animal. That's a body be? May I read if you find somebody 1 and 2 call us for Prime Minister. 1 and 2 agree, say flight green. But other than that, you can't find nobody? I saw bad. None of them qualify. Samuda. You're talking about Baby Matt? Baby Matt is in the Senate, is he not? No, sir. Oh, Jesus. May I look for find call election now. That's a good option. None worthy, that's true. Where's the JC Hutchison? So no one go back to Donkey Cat. It's all right. If you want, listen, if you want go on Donkey Cat, fine. Samoda is a serial liar. If you want go back to the Donkey Cat era, fine. None is worthy. Full mouth. No, sir. Take back Bruce. Yes, Bruce never bad. Even retired Bruce have more traction than those who are there at the moment. Election now. Even Riley said, Juliet told us, a joke I'm making, Juliet. You want Juliet take and stretch out for your land, them, you know. You want Juliet come push off you off of your land and take it and stretch it out and enrich herself. Market G. No, when Market G is not involved in this, we're talking about the Jamaica Labour Party this morning. If you want to say new election, fine, I'll accept that. We're not getting the PNP involved in this morning. We'll choose somebody to replace Andrew Holness. It must be done. It have to be done. It is important that it's been done. None of them no good. Oh, judgment. Bring back Bruce. Judgment. Even Bruce more popular than those are there. Even Bruce is more popular than those are there. How about Ambassador Peanut Dread? Those are that is laughable. Venetia Phillips. Venetia Phillips, who doesn't know whether our baggy back and front are ready up on the right side. You mean Venetia Phillips? Hey, Koshata. Hey, hallelujah. Do you know how much money Venetia Phillips thief? Hey, Venetia Phillips and him bad man them, but then again you can't blame her with the bad man them because the politicians have bad man and gunman aligned to them if the truth be told. We're search. Who can replace criminal? How can you replace criminal with criminal? Oh, Jesus, what a calamity. No smoother, he's worse than Andrew Sunak friend. Get some diasporans would be an option. What about L.A. Lewis? That would be an exciting option, veteran. It would probably bring the country in a uplifting mood where we want to do, because you have somebody who is, madly though it might sound, is giving you that positive drive to say we can do it. There is other ways. There is another way. There are different options. Let's look at them. You might never know. Sperm whale hero. You mean after all he has collected from Chopper John? Come on, beat and teach. Laughable this is. Call the JLP prostitute, Renita Adams. No, we would have want Renita Adams come back, do same thing, the way you call it. What's you call it? What the Dunce Kevin Blake I do. The Dunce robot looking, evil eye looking man. Commissioner of Radavan Carriage. The Renita Adams would have suitable commissioner. Jesus Christ, none is worthy, oh. None. None. And somebody be? Jesus have mercy. So hold on there. What if they win a next term? It is not impossible, you know. They have enough money to buy it. They have enough money to trick the country. They have the Electoral Commission of Jamaica in their office. They have the political ombudsman in their office. I wonder if Dr. Nesbitt would take on such a position. The failed Dr. Nesbitt, who has tried to gain a seat 5 times but was rejected by her constituents. I wonder if the failed Dr. Nesbitt would want to throw her hat in the ring. I wonder if Lisa Hanna would want to switch over to the JLP. She might be a bit more popular over there. Might never know. Charnel Williams. Google Gaga. Have you ever heard Google Gaga try to string a sentence together? Have you ever heard Google Gagarism? You ever hear him try to string a sentence together? I wonder if failed Dr. Nesbitt. I wonder if the failed doctor who has never managed after 5 competition to get a seat, I wonder if she wants to throw her hat in the ring, given the dire threat of the 49 thieves. What a calamity in our country, where nobody's there to take over from Andrew Holness. You mean the party is stuck with Andrew Holness until a general election is called? Are they so there? Merlene Bryan, how are you? Is that really where it is? That none of the devil angel is worthy, so we have to keep the devil until whatever until might be, whenever until might be. Bug life. No, sir. That is true. The attendance is woefully dismal and ignorant of what the people pay them to do. Woeful. Because they do not care. We do not put them to work. We do not hold them accountable. We make them run like loose pig around the farm that they are. Not even as much as push broom Everard Warmentana use wash out the pen where we give him for do. You know, see where it is. Have you seen the calamity? It's then, therefore, falls to the nation to protest against the government and force the government into an election. Can you stick this out until September next year? Ask yourself the question, can we stick this out until September next year? Remember, in the top of your chat, the link to Debbie Jarvis TV is pinned. Please hit the link and subscribe now. Let me look how much I want to subscribe already, because me know to say don't want to listen. Come on, people. Please hit the link while I'm here before I go. We done here now, so yeah? Just hit the link in the top of the chat and subscribe to David Jarvis TV now. I'm waiting to see how much of you. That will show me if we don't care about supporting what we are doing. What we are doing to fight against injustice and cronyism in our country. Warrell Reed is the man. No, sir. Keva, you know, Rohan Williams, you know the best of them. You know the best of them, Rohan. So you can just push out the better one them. So, and all of the better one them, you know, Rohan. And all of the better one them you pull out tonight. All of the better one them. And them you pull out of the bag. Hit the link in the top of the chat and subscribe to Debbie Jarvis TV now before we go. There's 200 of you here. Even the silent listener, we must encourage more women in this, Majay, how are you? In this field, because we know when women stand up, when the youth stand up, everybody else falls in line. Some of our greatest stand up and rebellion were led by women. So we need to encourage and support more women on this journey in the fight against injustice. So thank you all very much for being here. I'm going to also pin the link in the top of the after chat so that anyone watches and listens to the program will also subscribe. Thank you all very much for being here with us this morning on Global Television. Tell Dana Dixon Morris we are waiting for the answer for the questions we've asked to the clarity we need. And we're asking the Prime Minister for his expedited resignation in order for change of management to take our country forward. Our country needs a firm hand at the moment. That hand is not Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Good morning and good afternoon from Global Television.